Good morning. It's a beautiful day to celebrate Veterans Day. I'm Chris Bowers. I have the pleasure of serving the student veterans and military-connected students of Washburn, and I have the honor of chairing the Veterans Day Planning Committee. On behalf of the entire committee and Washburn University, I'd like to welcome everyone to the 38th Washburn University Veterans Day ceremony. Washburn has a history of serving and supporting our veterans dating back to 1865, when Washburn made admitting Union soldiers and their dependents a priority. Today we continue to show our respect to all Americans who served in the armed forces with this annual celebration. Washburn stands proudly with our veterans. We're happy to have all of you join us today. It's always a special time to pause and reflect as a community on the important contributions and sacrifices of our veterans. Would you please post the colors?
Here, colors.
Please rise.
Forward, march. March, line, march. Colors, oh. Left turn, march. Reason, arm. Right turn, march. Forward, march.
Please take a seat. I'd like to thank JROTC programs such as Topeka West High. For programs such as this, our celebration would not be a success. Also joining us today is Reverend Richard Souter. He is going to join me to help us get started with a blessing in just a moment. Reverend Souter is a veteran who served in Vietnam and the Middle East. He retired as a chaplain with the rank of major with 32 years of service, serving in the United States Air Force, Kansas Army National Guard, and the United States Army Reserves. He is now the pastor of Grantville United Methodist Church. Please help me welcome Reverend Souter.
I would like to make a small correction. I've retired from the Grantville United Methodist Church after 39 years. Not there, but total.
If you would you bow with me, please? O God of all creation, since the first moment a human being set foot on our continent, all the way until today, men and women have answered the call to defend this nation, our villages, our families, our ways of life. And we thank you for such men and women who have sacrificed so much. Gathering here today, we come to honor those who stood shoulder to shoulder to defend our culture, our freedoms, and our families.
We remember those who did not return, and we are thankful for what they have done. We are grateful for the veterans before and all around us who have returned home to enjoy the freedoms that they suffered and bled to protect. Richly fill their lives with your bounty for all of their lives. And may our nation always rise to defend that which we cherish the most. In your precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Reverend Souter. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. John Fritch, the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs of Washburn. Please help me welcome Dr. Fritch to the stage.
Good morning. President Mazachek could not be here today. She is out of the state right now, but she did wish me to send my welcome on her behalf. Washburn is an especially appropriate venue for this event. Washburn first opened in 1865, and at Washburn we take great pride in the access that we have provided to students since 1865, our opening. We often point to the fact that our very first class had women, which was unusual for 1865, freed slaves, which was unusual for 1865, but we also had veterans in that first class. The first veteran to attend Washburn University was Addison P. Davis. Addison fought in the Civil War. He was captured by Confederates and was a prisoner near Tyler, Texas. He then returned to Topeka, Kansas, where he entered Washburn University and was a proud graduate in 1868. We are proud to continue to serve our veterans and active military, including the Reserve and National Guard. Currently, Washburn serves about 300 veterans and military families. At Washburn, we hope and strive to respect the service of these veterans, those currently serving and their families, and our aim is to provide service that is respectful and honoring of the service that they have provided to us. So respecting and serving veterans and their families is embedded in the Washburn University tradition. But Washburn is also an appropriate venue for this day because of our motto. Our university motto is non nobis salum, or not for ourselves alone. And no one can exemplify this motto better than our veterans. These veterans, those currently serving their families, exemplify this by making not for ourselves alone part of their daily life. They do this by sacrificing parts of their lives, time away from family, sometimes putting a pause on their own life, sometimes sacrificing their health, and sometimes giving their entire life for others, not for themselves alone. As I was thinking about today, I was reflecting a little bit on the 11, 11, 11, 11. And it really dawned on me as to why this day is so important and this time. I think at no other time in history can we point to a single minute when a war ended. If you think about the Civil War, there was fighting that lasted long after Appomattox. If you think about the Revolutionary War, there's really not a clear time when that war ended. The same is true for World War II, when Japanese were often on islands long after and fighting long after we thought the war had ended. But with World War I, there was a complete and total truce at 11, 11 on 11, 11. And I think starting an event like this helps us to understand the importance of veterans in preserving peace that can come after conflict, and also the reward that we get from the graciousness with which we should thank our veterans. So also think about one other thing. When I was little, it was Poppy Day, was the way it was known in my family. Poppy Day, because we all wore our poppies on our lapels. My great-grandpa had fought in World War I, and I did not understand why it was Poppy Day. The reason it's Poppy Day is the poppies grew in France after the war, and they grew so rapidly because of the churning of the soil that had happened. The soil was so devastated that the poppies found places to grow in unique ways. And again, I think that shows the dedication of our soldiers and the hope that we can get from their service to our nation and to all of us. So today, Washburn is honored to share this day with the broader community. Our commitment to military personnel and their families and the motto of Washburn University make this a special place for honoring the service of so many Americans. And now I would like to introduce our keynote speaker today. Our keynote speaker is Mayor Michael Padilla. The mayor has a very long list of accomplishments, but I would like to highlight a couple that I think are especially important today. The first that resonates with me is the mayor is a second-generation Mexican-American. He is also a Washburn graduate and now a member of the Washburn Board of Regents. But he also served in the Navy Reserve and was a 34-year member of the Topeka Police Department, so he knows about service. He also was recently recognized as the Kansas Mayor of the Year, and I believe that was a well-earned recognition. Mayor Padilla.
Thank you very much.
You want this?
No, this is fine. I do want to correct one thing. Firstly, good morning to everyone who's here this morning. As proud as I am to be associated with Washburn University and having had the privilege to serve on the Board of Regents, I'm not a graduate, but that doesn't minimize my admiration for everyone who has come to this great institution and graduated in their different fields. I just don't want to take credit for something I didn't complete. So we all start at one point and then we find our place in life. And so I've moved on to that. Thank you, John, though. I appreciate it for the honorary. It's been my pleasure to be a part of Topeka in a way that I think really gives voice to the opportunities that I have had because of our veterans. Sometimes we take it for granted the things that come to us in our life. Well, sure, I'll be able to buy a car. Oh, sure, I'll be able to own a home. Sure, I'll be able to go to college. But all of those things happen because of the sacrifices that our servicemen and women have made to make it possible, to keep our country and community available for the entire population who lives in this country. There are sometimes people who think that I deserve this and I deserve that. We know you get often what you work for, and that's what the servicemen has made possible for our country. It's through a unity of service in many different ways. I think about the different forces in the armed forces, the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. All those people serve a specific task, but together they form that network of committed citizens who will rise whenever they are asked. I was sitting here with my friend just in the beginning of this service, and I got to thinking, sometimes I get into a place where I'm thinking, well, why are things happening in this country today? And how are things being seen today? And what I think of is that our community, our country, has always had the greater need to do what is best for everyone. Our unity of service comes from the desire to have everyone be included in the benefits of being a U.S. citizen in the United States of America. And I speak to that because sometimes I wonder how we got where we are. I can remember we were talking about the Cuban crisis. I was in elementary school still then. Yeah, you thought I was older, right? But no, that's not right. I was in elementary school and I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how the country was ill-prepared to respond to that, but how the leadership brought us together. And I think about World War II. Again, it seemed like we were asleep at the wheel when we knew things were boiling up and that we had a very, very, very bad situation that was thrust upon us at Pearl Harbor. But what happened in those occasions is that our country responded in the way that it needed to. We may not have been fully prepared, but we were ready to serve in every way that we could. And for the men and women and for the families who supported the men and women and for the children who have been affected by the loss of a parent because of their service, but they still have the dedication to our country. It shows how we serve in our way, in our own capacity, because we know we do it for the greater good. We cannot minimize anyone who steps forward for our country. So in keeping that in mind, it reminds me every day that I've had privileges afforded to me because our country stood together and we kept our vision clear and our goals inclusive. For me, it has been such an honor to be associated with the military. I know it sounds kind of corny, but when people ask those in the audience to stand if you're a veteran, I have a sense of pride that really bursts at my chest when I get to stand with all those veterans. And it makes me feel so much like I have tried to do as much as I can for our country and our community. And I think that carries through with everything that we do for us, ourselves, and for our family. It's for others, as Dr. Fritch said. It's not for ourselves, it's for others. That's what makes us strong. Service to others. Unity through service. I thank my mother and my father because they really instilled that in me. My father and my brother served in the Navy, and I remember looking up to them, and still do, and make sure that I never forget what their sacrifice meant for our family. And that's the thing that we all have to remember. If we get caught up in the challenges of life, remember that there were others who served with huge, huge challenges that we have no idea of. If you were in the field and you had to go through those challenges, it was the strength of your beliefs and what you were doing, not just your physical strength, but it was something that you needed to complete because you had taken an oath to do that. And that oath means more than any tired feeling you might have or any animosities that you might have. You have to look to that oath that you took. That's what has always made me so proud, that when I raised my hand and swore to defend this country, that it made me feel like I was part of that network of everyone who wanted this country to succeed for the world. It has been my honor and privilege to be the mayor of this city, and it is my honor and privilege to be here today to recognize those who have sacrificed so much for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's very well said. Thank you. Mayor Padilla and Dr. John Fritch have helped remind us of the humanity that lives in the word veteran. Veterans are not merely those who have served our country, but they are men and women, sons and daughters, husbands and wives. They are friends. Their stories live on battlefields, military bases, and grave sites across the globe. It is in the wounds and scars, both seen and unseen, they may have and they may carry them. Their stories live in the freedom we are blessed with today. It is now a pleasure to introduce the Capital City Chorus. The Capital City Chorus has been bringing harmony to Topeka since 1946, performing an annual show and at patriotic events like our ceremony today. They are directed today by Jonathan Andrews. Please help me welcome them as they prepare to perform a medley of songs for us.
Our fashion. When you hear your service hymn sung, please stand. Salute, whatever you want to do, but please do stand. The order of the service hymn is the Coast Guard, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force.
harmony part of descant that goes with it. And then when you see Don, come forward. It'll be your turn to sing, and we'll harmonize too. Sound good? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that great music. Our friends with the Capital City Chorus come back year after year to entertain us and support our ceremony. We really appreciate them and their voices. We're going to pay tribute to all veterans with their symbolic ringing of the bell. Dan Schmidt, retired Master Sergeant of the United States Air Force, will toll the bell for us. Thank you, Dan. Celebrating the Native American warriors who bravely served in the Armed Forces of the United States. Standing Bear Intertribal Brotherhood is going to perform "We Fought for Our Country." Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand while Mr. Steven Zimmerman renders taps? Please remain standing as Reverend Richard Souter comes to the podium to give our benediction.
Will you pray with me, please? Father of all things, we thank you for every blessing in life. We thank you for the service and devotion of such men and women before us today and those who have come before us. May your Spirit fill us and guide us in all our ways, that we may go forth in continued service, that our nation will thrive and grow, and we will continue to be a blessing for the world around us. I pray in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Souter. Please be seated. Aubrey Vogler, would you please stand up? Aubrey is a student at Washburn Tech. She created and designed and modified our programs for today. Would you please give her a round of applause? Very talented young student. Thank you very much. The program touched briefly about Washburn's dedication to veterans. Across campus, there are a number of memorials. If you want to learn more about Washburn's memorials, you can visit our website, and it's washburn.edu/memorials. This information is in your programs. Also in your programs, it touches on the PACT Act. It touches on what Agent Orange did to not only our troops, but their children and their grandchildren as well. And that was the purpose of the carnations. Also, if you have time before you leave campus, I encourage you to go to the Student Union, which is also a memorial. It's the Memorial Union. I ask you to go in there because if you would, Mr. Davis, this is Matthew Davis, would you please stand up? Mr. Davis, he's a veteran of the United States Army. He was a combat engineer. He's the recipient of the Purple Heart. The memorabilia that's up there, it was donated by him. He's a collector. He was a student at Washburn. It's all donated by him. If you would take the time to look at it, some of the students seated in the audience, they're students of mine, they put up their story. It's a living history of what they did while they served, why they chose Washburn, and a little bit on what they did while they were in the military. It's a dedication to them. And it lets you see a little more of the human in them and the student in them, that not just the veteran. Also, if you go across campus on the southeast part of Morgan Hall, you'll see the newest monument, and that's one that Washburn and, of course, our Alumni Association helped us gather the money to replace the old one that is dedicated a lot towards the 47 Ichabods that went to Vietnam, paid the ultimate sacrifice. One of them is Eugene Jewell. He went missing on September 4th. And he is still listed as missing in action in Vietnam. 47 Ichabods out of a population then, Washburn was probably maybe 3,500 students. That's a lot of students out of a population that size. But before you leave, if you could take your time to at least see those two things, the student veterans of Washburn would greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much for showing up today and seeing our program. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of the beautiful day. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you.